This building here is the Museum of West African Art, well known by its acronym MOWAA. It is located in the heart of the ancient city of Benin, and in this video, we will take an exclusive virtual tour of this highly anticipated MOWAA Institute. We will dive into the essence of MOWAA, clearing up some common misconceptions, and I will give you a sneak peek into what to expect from this MOWAA Institute. From ancient artifacts to contemporary works of art, MOWAA is going to be a powerful space that celebrates the rich cultural heritage of Benin, West Africa, and beyond. So sit tight as we go through this incredible new cultural landmark together. We're going into the construction compound now. Mind you, the fence you see here is just for the construction process. It's temporal, and with time, after the construction is completed, it will be pulled down. MOWAA is going to be a single compound. This is the brain behind the whole MOWAA campus. The MOWAA Institute is made with earth, rammed earth. We will see more of that later in this video, and what brought about that rammed earth. Okay, down there would be, art guest house. That's where the art guest house will be. So whenever you come to the compound, you can always go there to lodge. Those not residents in Benin. So like I said, this building is made up of rammed earth. So ramming of earth is more like a process of mixing earth with both cement and gravel. So what you can see here is more like what you will get from mud houses. But a lot of research was put into it to bring it out in this form. That's why it came out in this brown mud looking color. Although there's still concrete at the base and the top, but this one is just to give it more beauty. Although the concrete is still colored, if you look at it well. The rammed earth building is centered around sustainability and minimizing the carbon footprint from the construction to the operation of this institute. Rammed earth is basically compacted earth, gravel, and elements of cement, that's limestone and all. It's an ancient method that has been revived recently as a sustainable building method. That sustainability is the reason why MOWAA chose that path. MOWAA is an independent, non-profit institution, which means it isn't owned by the government or any single entity. MOWAA as an institution is set out to preserve, protect, and promote West African art and cultural heritage. To do this, MOWAA would actively support the entire cultural and cumulative space and provide an enabling environment for contemporary creatives to thrive. One thing we should notice, MOWAA is mainly focused on the artists of today, even though MOWAA will be using the cultural assets of Edo State as a pillar to support contemporary creatives. The main focus of MOWAA is today's art. You know, when we talk about art in Benin Kingdom, we sometimes tend to act like the Benin stopped creating art at a certain age, which we all know as the pre-1897 era. And when we discuss art, a lot of focus tends towards the ancient pre-1897 art, which is limiting if you ask me, because since that time till today, we have still been creating art. The sculptors at Igun have been making bronze. The sculptors at Igbesanwa have been carving metal works, still being produced at the Igunugbawa Blacksmith Guild. But little to no conscious effort is being made to preserve this work. From the remaining sculptors, nothing is being done to expose them to a global audience. This craft, as we know, needs to be sustained, and the faster we go through the process of sustaining this art and craft, the better it would be, because if nothing is done to sustain them, this craft would become even less economically viable, and in no time we would lose this craft. So take for instance the Benin moat. No one is consciously preserving, documenting, or exposing it to the world. Even today, no one knows how much of the moat is left, and in this regard, MOWAA, in partnership with the GAI, that's the German Archaeology Institute, have done the mapping of the entire Benin moat that is still remaining today. That's in Benin, Udo, and Ugoton. The last time this mapping was done was in the 60s, and within a short time of MOWAA coming, MOWAA has been able to map the entire Benin moat. And this mapping and documentation of the Benin moat is towards supporting the country to make Benin moat a World Heritage Site, just like Igun Street. You can imagine what would happen when the moat becomes a World Heritage Site. the tourism potential it holds for Benin City. All these points are to show that MOWAA's objective is to preserve and promote West African arts and culture. So to perform all this objective, there has to be an engine room. And that engine room is the MOWAA Institute. This building you can see here. And the MOWAA Institute is one component of the entire MOWAA campus. It's referred to as a campus because there are different elements and components that comprises this compound. So research, conservation, exhibition for archaeology, and many more are going to be happening right here at MOWAA. So MOWAA actually aims to provide an ecosystem and infrastructure that supports modern and contemporary art. This is the main entrance into the MOWAA Institute. So the Institute is the engine room of all that will be going on in this MOWAA campus. This is the exhibition hall of the Institute right here. You would have different exhibitions going on here when MOWAA is fully operational, depending on the theme of whatever event is happening. This hall has been designed to accommodate a maximum of 60 people at a time. This is to ensure a stable climatic condition in this exhibition hall. And MOWAA is keen on controlled climate inside this institute, and you will understand why shortly. So in this hall, there will be several stands, fully electronic and automatic, where you would get information of every object that is being exhibited. There will be a lot of technological advancement in the operations of the exhibition that will be going on here to ensure every visitor gets the most of their visit here. From mid-2025, when this exhibition hall will be functional, this is where most visitors that will be visiting the MOWAA campus will be spending most of their time. We're going to the main storage now, and right here we are inside the main storage of the MOWAA Institute. Whatever is stored here can be seen from the glass by anyone in the exhibition hall. From the aerial view, you must have noticed the roofing pattern. There are actually inlets of lights as windows that would allow natural light to effectively illuminate this major storage. You can see how bright it is in here. MOWAA intends to stand as a support for other museums, and in these storage facilities, museums from all over West Africa can come here to store their heritage assets. So in southern Nigeria, where MOWAA is, we have a problem with humidity, which could hamper long-term photography and textile storage. So in that regard, the temperature, pressure, humidity, and even luminance in this storage would be carefully controlled to ensure items brought here are not degraded by environmental factors. So be it textile, metalwork, ceramics, whatever would be stored right here in the MOWAA storage facility will be stored at the right temperature, pressure, and humidity, because this storage facility built here is going to be controlled and adjusted perfectly to maintain what is being stored here. There will be various compartments and even different storages for storing different types of items with conditions curated to effectively and efficiently preserve these items. So we'll be seeing the other storage shortly. When the restitution conversation came up, one of the biggest concerns surrounding this conversation was that we didn't have the kind of storage facility to preserve the artifact. The MOWAA facility is a direct response to that restitution conversation. This storage here at MOWAA would cater for such controlled conditions, not just for MOWAA, but for institutions around West Africa. We might be curious already about the Benin bronzes. It should be noted that MOWAA does not and cannot claim ownership of the Benin bronzes. They are only to be stored and exhibited in MOWAA, that's if they would, under the permission of the owner. So whosoever owns the bronzes can decide to store it at MOWAA or wherever they deem fit, and only the owner can also decide to exhibit it right here at MOWAA or not. So this storage was built with glass to make it see-through, so that even during an exhibition, you can see through what is being stored inside this major storage. It should be noted also that this exhibition space is just a quarter of the museum, so a visitor will not be able to see everything that is being stored inside the museum, but will only be able to see what is being exhibited at the time of visit and a few other things that will be stored in this see-through storage. So I hope we all understand that. This is another storage facility. It is not see-through and there might be reasons for that. Some items might need a different kind of storage conditions and some might not be permitted to be showcased through the see-through storage. So this inner storage facility offers a private and even more controlled condition than the larger see-through storage. So certain kind of items that are not good with light can also be stored here for more control. I like the way this place is lighted, like really bright. Just like you're outside. Wow. It's even brighter than the exhibitions side.
This other place that is mostly common. We just have one layout, like skylight compared to
Yes. Because when I saw the roof, I was wondering why it was built in that manner. We leave the storage facility now to show you the 180 seating capacity amphitheater. It's just to the left of the main entrance. And MOWAA is going to be making use of this place for different purposes. It can be converted to a conference room or rearranged as an amphitheater. Even movie screenings will be done here. So this is the conference room. It is designed for 180 persons, but rearrangement, I believe, can make it accommodate more. So here you can hold workshops, seminars, you can gather here to discuss your findings, have collaborations, be it with the community, or even academia. So this place will be very busy and needs to be accessible. That's why it's close to the entrance, as you saw. So the seats are retractable and can be rearranged for different purposes. So that should be all for the conference room. We'll be leaving here shortly now to see the other part of the museum. So we are back at the exhibition hall now. We just passed the see-through storage here to the left, and workers are still working on the completion of this awesome project. So these other sections we are entering now are the conservation labs, archaeology labs, and a host of other labs and offices. We should know that MOWAA does an end-to-end process of understanding and exhibiting items brought into this facility. So when items come in, they come in through the loading bay, will be there soon. They are first brought to these labs for purification and then moved to the research labs where objects will be studied to understand what these objects are about. So these studies are usually done in collaboration with the community for better understanding. So we should understand that MOWAA is not a custodian of culture. So some people might be agitated that MOWAA is coming to tell people what their culture is about, which is not the case. MOWAA would work with the custodians of heritage in collaboration with the communities. So MOWAA is helping to transmit this knowledge because if you notice, a lot has been lost due to means of knowledge transfer, which is mainly oral and written. How many people read today? So, MOWAA would be working with the communities. I think this is the electrical section. Okay, a lot of wires there. So MOWAA will be working with the communities to understand this object based on our socio-cultural context. So once research is concluded, the next thing is conservation and to know these objects more if they are getting damaged already, because these objects come in different states. Imagine you just dug out a textile from the ground. Soon be in a state where you can just store it like that. So conservation work needs to be done to prevent further deterioration before taking into the storage or for exhibition. Now, this facility is state of the art, and power is really important to keep things running here. The storage has a lot at stake, from maintaining the right pressure and humidity for different levels of storage, and power failure shouldn't be something that should be experienced here. So MOWAA will be powered from different sources. There would be power from the grid, that's the general grid, standby generators, and also a 300 kilowatt mega solar farm that will be installed to cover the entire roof of this institute. So more to that in the future when this institute is fully opened. Okay. We leave the building now to the loading bay. Okay, loading bay. Whatever comes, enters through here. Okay, makes sense. Why is the loading bay that big? Is it that things will always be coming here? I mean, this place will get filled up in 2 days now.
Yeah, it's just big enough depending on how big the shops.
Okay, coming.
So it's not like they're going to be stored here. It's just
But
when they come
supposing the storage of items here now exceed your capacity, is there plan to expand or build other storage centers?
for exceeding, I don't know, because for me that storage room is actually really, really big.
Ha. If everybody see, okay, MOWAA has the kind of storage facility we have, because from what I read,
Yeah.
MOWAA would have one of the best storage facilities in sub-Saharan Africa. So, because from the size of the loading bay alone, if I bring 3 trucks, that place is almost filled up now. Because this side are those offices now.
Yes, offices, labs.
Okay. Wow. I really like what is going on. We came through the other side the other day.
Yeah.
So in the coming months, every item brought into this institute for whatever purpose would all come through this loading bay. It is a well thought out process indeed. So I think that will be all for the MOWAA Institute for now. We will surely visit again when it's fully opened. We head out of here now towards the rainforest for the other half of this tour. So these containers are just the temporary site offices. You can see workers all around making sure it is completed in due time. A lot of work is going on here, sir. A whole lot. So this is the gate we came in from, the temporary fence I told you, and we are moving out to the other side now. Those bushes there is where the rainforest will be. We'll get there shortly. So you will notice a lot of A&K machines and banner all around. They are the main construction company in charge of the MOWAA project. So the yellow building ahead, that's the temporary archaeology office. So that one might be brought down too, and this whole area will be covered with rainforest in the coming months. So the tree planting that we'll be seeing shortly happened just at the back of this area, and I'll explain that in details when we get there. This is the entrance to the rainforest. You can see the tag there. This building and another building down there are all going to be co-work spaces. They were previously barracks, later turned hospitals, and today they have been remodeled. Not really remodeled, they have been rebuilt by MOWAA to serve as workspaces, and the other one as the art cafe, more like a restaurant where you can eat different African food. So in this co-working space, artists from all over the world can come here and work together inside this co-working space. While over here is the art cafe down there. So as stated, in the art cafe, different dishes from all over the world will be offered there. The 2 buildings are what is left of the pre-1897 era. They were not tampered with, but were only restored by MOWAA to a state in which they were when they were first built. MOWAA is into restoration as opposed to breaking down buildings. This co-workspace and art cafe are restored buildings. So in the co-workspace, this building to the left, artists would have the opportunity to collaborate and work with artists from all over the world. Ideas will be shared, and that will bring about more exposure to most local artists. Artists who never had the opportunity to showcase their talent to a global audience will now have more opportunities. Such exposure will bring about even more revenue for the artist. This networking and collaboration opportunities are part of several ways MOWAA intend to support our local artists. So this co-workspace would really benefit local arts, and it will be really busy in the coming months. So hopefully it's completed soon. So that's it. The co-workspace is down there and the art cafe. It should be noted that these buildings are over 100 years old because they have been here even since the Benin invasion. So this area we're entering now is more of an archaeological garden, or rather archaeological field. So how it works is this. Before MOWAA embark on building any structure, especially in this land where MOWAA would be residing, this particular land was once part of the Oba of Benin's palace. So buried under this earth are a lot of materials that are of importance to archaeology. Building on top of those materials might just bury them forever. That's why if you look down there, there are a lot of excavation to dig the earth as deep as possible to be able to recover some of those pot sheds. Okay, these are some things that can be recovered. Things that were used those days that are almost forgotten and buried. Remember I said this place was once a barrack, hospital, and today it's becoming a co-workspace. So you can understand the amount of things that have been buried in this ground. Down there, you will see a lot of digging and excavations. Just look at the earth, just like you're tilling the soil. But actually, that digging is not aimless. They're actually to check for sensitive materials that may have been buried in the soil to avoid burying them for life. You know, this whole area in the past used to be part of the Oba Palace. That's the Oba of Benin's palace. So after that, it became a barrack, and then today it's becoming the co-workspace. That's the co-workspace building over there. So you should understand that lying on this earth will be a lot of materials, a lot of artifacts that will be very important for archaeology. So MOWAA have to do the excavations to be able to recover those things before the building would be constructed here. So far they found some potsheds, buckles, and old hospital equipment. Basically things that showed the progression and development of this area. That is from the palace to the barrack and hospitals, and to what we have here today. Like I said earlier, MOWAA is in partnership with the National Commission for Museum and Monument. So they are the ones responsible for monitoring this excavation process to make sure it is done right. So down there, where those people are clearing, you can see a cross there. That is actually a cemetery. So it's more like a burial ground for white people that were conquered during the Benin invasion. It will be turned into a memorial garden. So some structures and sculptures will be put in this memorial garden, and this whole area would be the rainforest. And sometimes last year, there was a tree planting exercise where different groups from Benin City and even beyond came around to engage in the tree planting exercise. We'll be seeing some pictures now that happened on that tree planting exercise. A lot of people came around, and attached to this video would also be the picture of the upcoming Rainforest gallery. In the coming years, this co-workspace and every other thing around here will be covered in rainforest. You can see the amount of trees that have been planted around here already. So you can just come here when you're in Benin City, come to the rainforest, go to the gallery and do your exhibition. So that's the Oba Ikenzua Cultural Center. See, just sharing friends with MOWAA. When the time is right, you can even from here link up with the cultural center, have your exhibitions there, and many other things happening in this ecosystem. So that's why MOWAA was chosen for this particular place. A lot of cultural activities happen in this part of Benin City. It's more like the cultural district. Igun is not far from here. Sakomba is not far from here. Igunubowa and many other places are not far from here. So you see the reason why MOWAA has chosen to come here. So we're still in the rainforest. Ahead of us now, you can see some pictures, different architects and dignitaries when they visited MOWAA during the construction. The lady here is Nziga B, co-founder of Wurufila, I think a Dakar-based architecture firm. And that's the rainforest there after the development archaeology. So this whole area looks deserted now, but it will be one of the most engaged parts of the MOWAA campus in the coming months. So I think that picture there is the Rainforest Gallery. That's a rendering of what it will look like. Let's go check it out. So the gallery will be built inside this rainforest gallery. So just imagine something like this situated in this rainforest covered with a lot of trees. So that's what you'll be seeing in the coming months when MOWAA is fully completed. So as already established, this area will be immersed in the rainforest. And something a lot of us don't know is that most of the trees we see around today are not indigenous trees. When the colonial masters came, they established forest reserves. And most of the trees that were planted in all those reserves were trees from all over the world. Most of us grew up thinking these trees were our trees. And as time progressed, we have stopped planting most of our trees. You know, nature put these trees we are neglecting in this part of the world for several reasons. And watching most of them go extinct is not the way to go. So MOWAA, in collaboration with the Edo State Forest Commission and other agencies, carried out a lot of research over the months to ensure that whatever trees were chosen for the upcoming rainforest were all indigenous trees. So through that effective collaboration, over 200 seedlings and saplings were acquired. And as at when this video was taken, about 1,000 have already been planted. So these indigenous trees are trees like Iroko, Obeche, Opepe, Mahogany, and a host of others. And as already mentioned, there was a tree planting exercise last year from June to August, where youth, dignitaries, journalists, young creatives, and a lot of other people came around to plant and adopt a tree in this rainforest. So the community tree planting is actually part of MOWAA's collaboration and fostering ownership. So I showed you some pictures earlier. I will still put some more now, showing you different people that came around for the tree planting exercise right here in the MOWAA campus. You know, tradomedically too, since most of the trees would be indigenous, we can revive the almost moribund tradomedical practice. When we talk about tradomedical approach to treatment, a lot of recipes that we used to treat ourselves in the past are almost lost because we no longer practice them. These practices are also part of our heritage, and there's so many ailments we run around today without even cure can be easily cured if we rediscover how to harness our herbs. So sadly, just a few people still practice tradomedicine today, and MOWAA will surely create an enabling environment where these people can come together, work together, and revive the almost forgotten art of tradomedicine. So all this is just to show us that MOWAA has come to make sure our cultural values, not just for the Benins, but West Africa at large, is preserved and promoted So just have a look once more. This empty land you see here will soon be the Rainforest Gallery covered in trees. This might just be the last time you see it this empty. So I think that should be all for this Rainforest side of MOWAA. And we'll be heading back to the main building now to conclude this video. So this is the co-workspace. It still amazes me that this building is over 100 years old. Now I see why MOWAA decided to restore it instead of break it down. Still looking very, very solid. Museum of West African Arts. So have one more look at the saplings and the seedlings that are germinating already. Really nice and beautiful.
It's for somebody special. Yeah. Can't wait it out tonight. Baby, you're special. Can't wait it out tonight. Yeah. Can't believe it's so. Yeah. 20 nights been so. Baba don't lose composure. Yeah. Girl, my champion lover. Would you wait?
Okay, we are back to the main building now, and I hope you had a nice time doing this virtual tour. It was a bit lengthy, but it is just to show you what the upcoming Museum of West African Arts would look like and give you an idea of what to expect. As disclosed, there will be a lot to come, even so much more that we couldn't disclose at the time we were making this video, and some not yet supposed to be open to the public. When MOWAA is fully opened, we'll make a follow-up video that would showcase most of those. And till then, stay safe out there, everyone.
And if God is my witness, now you be my weakness, my no be boss. See Oluwa don't bless me. Not true, no be ghost ride. If they say I didn't listen, babe, you're the one that I'm missing, girl. And my darling, would you wait?